Okay, next up is business from City Council. City Council reports, Councilmember Buckland.
On the 21st of August, I attended last board of director meeting for SACOG down in Sacramento. And I would report on to other members on the council that SACOG voted overwhelmingly 27-2 on the board of directors to send a letter in response to the draft environmental impact report submitted by the city of Benicia in regard to the Valero crude oil imports. It was a very controversial issue, discussed for well over an hour, but addressed were the uptrack impacts for our area, specifically talking about North Sutter County and potentially South Sutter County. But really looking at addressing the needs of public safety in regard to prior notification and also training and equipment to be able to address any issue dealing with this volatile crude. It was well attended by the public, and a letter was sent forward to be attached to or for response by the city of Benicia. Never fun to do that to another city, but it certainly needed to be looked at, was left unaddressed within the impact report. So that's all I have.
Great, Councilmember Mon.
I have nothing to report.
Councilmember Starkey.
On the 21st, I had the opportunity to attend the Yuba Sutter Transit Authority board meeting, and the next day, the chamber breakfast that talked about the state of the education in Yuba and Sutter counties. And the state of education seems to be in a very positive fashion, and I'm glad to see all you kids here today. Thank you.
Great. Vice Mayor Dukes.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the students for being here tonight. Usually this place empties out after the first couple items, so it's kind of refreshing to see a full house for the full meeting. To report, I had attended a dinner last week to welcome Colonel Doug Lee to Beale Air Force Base as the wing commander. He actually has been here for several months, and he was here prior to this year, but it was the formal welcome dinner for he and his family, and it was very well attended. Both sides of the river, probably a little bit more by Yuba County from their supervisors, but it was very nice to honor Colonel Lee, and it's nice to have him as the wing commander at Beale Air Force Base.
Great. I don't have anything major to report other than all of our committee meetings meet next week. For those of you that are joining us today for the first time to get extra credit or points, that's one great way to be here. But I want to thank each and every one of you coming here and especially experiencing how city council meetings are run, how tax dollars are spent, how they're voted on. One of the biggest projects that's being worked on in this community right now, and Spencer touched on it a little bit, was the Sutter Buttes Flood Agency. We are repairing 40+ miles of levees here in Yuba City to keep us safe from flooding. I know on one hand we're talking about drought, on the other hand we're talking about levees, but we're prone to flooding. And if you've never ever taken a tour of our levees on how they're being built, how they're torn down, how they're built, I would encourage each and every one of you to go out and take a look. It's literally right at the end of Pease Road and Live Oak Boulevard. They're actually doing it, getting it fixed. That was something that the Sutter Buttes Flood Agency had budgeted for. Just to give you a little rundown real quick, is we had budgeted maybe finding 2 Indian burial site grounds due to the Indians. And so far to date, we've found 15 Indian burial sites in that levee. So there's a lot of delay work, but they're moving along, they're progressing along, and hopefully by the end of next year, we'll be pretty close to getting that levee's work. So we've got quite a bit of those meetings, but other than that, all of us that sit on the council, we all serve on different committees that represent our communities, our counties, other city council members from other jurisdictions, from Wheatland, Live Oak, and supervisors from Sutter County, Yuba County, also serve on those same committees with us as well. So we do meet twice a month, but believe it or not, this sometimes becomes the easier part because we do have briefings on everything that you see here. Even though it may not be discussed here right now, it's definitely discussed prior to these meetings, and questions are asked, why this, why that, from all those staff members. So our questions, we hope, are answered and dissected at that point in time. But it's other committees other community representations that we've got to do. And I know coming up real soon here, within first part of November, is the Mayor's Cup that we always look forward to. So with that, all of us will stick around and answer any questions that you guys may have. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting and say thank you for coming.